welcome back to my channel. Lynette Kessler here with a new video tutorial. And today I am making clusters. Clusters are really fun way to make embellishments. These are layered embellishments that are made from little pieces all combined to one. So let's make a few. I have here some embellishments, cutouts, fussy cuts, tags, shapes, that I'm going to use. These are from the Vintage Music paper collection. I'll put a link in the description under the video so you can go ahead and grab it. They're also really pretty papers, not just embellishments. So the first thing I do, first of all, when I make clusters, I don't make one. I make like a series, a few of those at once. So it's like a really great mass making project to do for whatever mini album, junk journal, card, paper craft that you're working on. So the first step is to choose the background, the base. So I have here some frames and some tags that I'm going to use as the base. And then on that, I will build my layers. So first I pick out all the bases that I like. Doesn't mean I'll choose all of them, but this is my starting point. And then the next thing is just to spread them around and start matching the layers that I want to put on top of them. So I'm just going to spread them out like this. Let's move this aside. So you're going to see these are all the potential cluster bases that I'm going to use. The next is to choose the next layer. So that will be like a complementing piece. It's usually going to be smaller. If the base is pattern, I would usually pick the next shape like a more solid or muted pattern color or pattern, so I won't get too noisy, if that makes sense. And if the base is like a neutral color or a solid color, it has hardly any pattern, then the next piece that I'm going to pick is going to have a pattern. So I'll have a contrast between the two layers, as you can see. So I want to go ahead and pick those. Let's bring all the fussy cuts closer so I can go ahead and pick. And I'm trying to have contrast between the two layers. And they don't have to be the same shape. They don't have to be the same direction. And they don't have to be the same size, of course. So things can be popping out on the sides and things like that. So you see that I'm starting to add layers. The next layer is usually some kind of an image, like a little focal point that I'm going to add on my cluster. And it's usually some kind of a fussy cut or something like that, and it's usually going to be smaller than the base and the background that is behind it. And it's really easy to do clusters if you use the backgrounds and the embellishments and the fussy cuts and everything from the same paper collection or series, so everything really matches. So that's kind of fun. So once I'm done with that, my last step is usually picking out some kind of a word, a quote, a phrase, something that will complement my cluster and give it that finish. So I have here lots and lots of words and phrases. And then it's really easy when you spread them, all the clusters in front of you, so it's really easy to see what goes with what and what matches with what and if it fits or it matches. And of course you must try not to waste too much time on that, because this part can go forever. You can check every little piece that you have if it matches, and you just need to stop at one point because it's like a rabbit hole. You can just try each and everything and change and see if I like this one better or this one better. And then so the next part is to, when you like the initial alignment and, you know, arrangement of all the clusters, it is time to start gluing. I always like to have a piece of, you know, just basic color scrap paper, because I always use it to add another layer if I need contrast, if I need more texture, more interest, then I always use that piece of scrap paper. And I also like to use foam tape to add dimension to the elements on the cluster. So not everything is just glued in one level. You get dimension, and that adds a lot to any cluster that you make. So for example, here I'm just adding a torn strip of paper from that scrap paper. It adds a little bit more interest to my background, a little movement because it's the edge is torn and not straight. And then I add my second piece slightly in an angle, and this is how I build the layers. So when you build layers on a cluster, all the elements need to overlap slightly, and that is the basic cluster technique that you need to remember, because otherwise, if things are not slightly overlapping and each one is floating separately on the background, then not only does it not look good, but it's not a cluster. A cluster that everything is clustered together. So we made our first one. And another fun thing to make on clusters is make them interactive. So the way to do that is to, let's say, add a little pocket. So I'm going to tear another piece from my scrap paper, and I'm going to add a pocket on the bottom of that little rectangle that I have on the cluster, and that little piano is going to go inside that little pocket. So clusters can also be interactive, and with this pocket makes things interesting and surprising and fun. So that goes in. And you see me ink all the edges, and I do that because I don't like the white core of the paper to show, but that's completely up to you. And if you don't like the inked edge, then you can skip this part completely. Okay, cluster number 2. Now with this one, I'm also going to make it interactive, but this time we're going to make a little flap that opens up. So another fun way to make an interactive cluster. Then we're going to ink everything, attach it, and then add the notes and everything else we want to embellish it with. And another fun thing that you can do is, if you have a quote that you like but it's spelled in one line, like I have here, it's a long line and it doesn't fit your width of cluster, then simply cut it in half or in more parts, in three, and make it fit. So anything can be cut and reassembled and add that quote that you want. So this is another fun one. I'm going to speed things up a little bit so you'll see how I make the other clusters. Just one thing that I do want to say about making stamps or cutting stamps like this. This is a stamp. So in stamp have that edge, that scallop, not scallop, but that, you know, the edge that stamps have. So I really like using those scissors that we used when we were kids with the different edges. I think that really adds to the look of the stamp. So I'm going to speed things up a little bit and make the other clusters. Okay, so the next one, again, I'm using foam tape to add dimension. Foam tape is really I don't like the word game changer because it sounds so dramatic, but it does add a lot of fun and dimension to a cluster and makes it look so much better. And I really like using those. This is another fun cluster. The only thing to remember about using foam tape is not to use it on all the pieces, because then your cluster is going to be really thick and bulky, and you don't want that. So you want to be careful and only use foam tape, let's say, on one item. So having this fun side pocket here, again, making it interactive. Well, and maybe it won't be a pocket. We'll see. No, I think I'm just gonna leave it. No, I'll leave it as a pocket. But you see, it's really fun to tuck things under, and when you make it interactive, it adds so much to the cluster. Okay, so we're almost done. And clusters are always a really fun way to use leftover and scraps that you have, because they're usually kind of small. So you can use small pieces to assemble them, and then they can fit any project that you're making. I'm gonna make this one interactive as well, or not, I don't know. Sorry about that. That was my phone. No, just gonna leave this without any interactive thing. Not everything needs to be interactive, because I like that quote and looks pretty here. Okay, so these are all the clusters that we made. I really like how they turned out. And now we need to, you can keep them for later, but I'm going to show you how I add them to my journal or a mini album page or a scrapbook page, or they'll be great on cards. They'll be great as party favors, as little gift card holders, whatever you want. Of course, you have to make them slightly bigger for gift card holders, but you can really add them to anything. So, of course, a cluster can be an insert in a pocket. That's obvious. But you can also use it as a pocket itself. So if you attach it to a page, you can, of course, it can be an embellishment like here, and you attach it fully to the page. But it can be like a tuck spot or a pocket if you attach it only by having glue on the edges, for example, on the bottom and on the side here. That will make it a corner pocket that you can tuck things under. So clusters can also be pockets, they can be tuck spots, they can be belly bands if they're wide enough or long enough. So really, when you're making clusters, you have a lot of possibilities to use them. So I really hope that you like this tutorial. If you like all the papers and the embellishments that I've shown you here that I've used, you can grab them. I will put a link in the description under the video. This is the Vintage Music Paper Kit, and you can grab it. I'll leave the link under the video. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time.